This sample should be familiar by now. Here we have our Kinect region, so let's right-click on it, select Edit Template, and then edit a copy. We have just created a new template for this Kinect region control. The template is very simple. It has a content presenter which contains all the controls that we have put into the Kinect region, and another control called Kinect Cursor Visualizer, which looks like what we're looking for. Let's right-click on it and try to find what controls this Kinect Cursor Visualizer is composed of. Bummer, the Kinect Cursor Visualizer doesn't seem to be a templatable control because there is no Edit Template menu item here. Once again, we have to access Microsoft's source code and look for the solution there. If you haven't done so before, you have to install the source code from the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit.Controls assembly. Again, this is done from the Kinect Developer Toolkit browser by clicking on the Install button next to the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit.Controls component. Once it is installed, we can open the project in Visual Studio and Blend. Since we are changing the look and feel of a control, and we are planning to do some template editing, Blend is the better choice here. Let me quickly open the project, and here it is. Let's open the themes/generic.xaml file. You may have to do a quick compile at this point to get rid of the possible error messages. Once you have the file open, the Resources tab shows the complete list of resources that are defined in this file. Let me open the style definition for the Kinect Cursor Visualizer. True enough, it is pretty much empty and certainly doesn't contain anything interesting. But what's this? Right after the Kinect Cursor Visualizer style, there is another one called Kinect Cursor. I will open this in the editor. And bingo! We have just found our cursor. So why couldn't we override this resource from our own project? Why did we have to open the source code to find it? If I open the Kinect Cursor.cs file, we can see the explanation. This class has been defined as an internal class, and thus it is not accessible from outside the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit.Controls assembly. Let's hope that Microsoft will change this down the road, and we won't have to recompile this assembly just to change the shape of the cursor. But for now, this is exactly what we are going to do. Let's head back to the template of the Kinect Cursor control and examine it. From this point on, changing the control is pretty straightforward. It has separate states for when the hand is idle, hovering over a press target, pressed, or when the hand is closed during a grip gesture. So if you want to change the way the hand cursor looks, this is where you can do that. Be aware though that this is a fairly tedious process since you have to define new graphics for all of the visual states. The last piece I want to show you is where you can define the press extent feedback, the purple field that indicates to the user that she is about to press a button. This is actually a pretty clever solution. Microsoft has defined a storyboard which gradually fills the hand with these purple ellipses. When the user presses her hand forward and the press extent changes, the Kinect Cursor control simply performs a seek within this animation, just like I do now. So, if you want to change the press indication, All you have to do is replace this 1 second animation with your own.